Hi there. My name is Thomas Bielert with Calgary Brothers Realty. If your family or yourself are facing downsizing or the option of maybe consolidating households into a multi-generational home, I'd sure love to be able to help you with that. Um, we prepared a really excellent document that you can access here on both downsizing and then a separate one on multi-generational home that asks or points out a bunch of the pitfalls that you could potentially run into, and also gives you a framework to ask some questions about what your needs might be, what you might need if you were looking at consolidating households, and how best to move through that process without having any more struggle than is necessary. I faced these kind of changes in my own family, first with my grandmother when my granddad passed. They had been at the time living in a country home that was large and had a lot of stairs and some very steep inclines to get in and out of. And that had been okay for the two of them together because they'd always had one another. If anything happened, the other person was on hand, and they'd been able to split the load and the outdoor work that was required to keep up that property. As they aged and after my granddad passed, that property just was no longer tenable for my grandmother. It was just too much for her to maintain alone. And living alone that far from the city and that far from support, we were very concerned that if she was to ever fall while she was outside maintaining the property, that nobody would be available to help her. So when we looked at that, we looked at selling that property, moving her into the city, into a single level home, much smaller home, townhouse unit that is suited for senior living. It's actually 55 plus complex, so nobody in that complex is below retirement age. And then additionally, it's part of a strata council that provides for all the outside care of the property, such as snow removal, leaf removal, mowing of the lawn. So there's very little maintenance for her. And third, and probably most important in her life, is it's about a block and a half from the church she attends, which she's super active in. So that community is very important to her. And being that close to it means even if the roads are rough and she can't drive, she can just walk down the road and go to church and not miss anything. So she really appreciates that. In my own family, just more recently, we're actually looking at a multi-generational home to move my mother-in-law in with us. She's currently facing some challenges related to her health with regards to mobility, food preparation, and taking care of herself. And the option of moving her into a full assisted living facility just isn't really viable for our family. We're not really in a financial position to do that. And what's more, it would isolate my mother-in-law further from the family, and we don't really want that. We want to be able to spend her years with her while she's still with us. And so we're looking at that now and trying to find a home that will accommodate both my family and also her so that she has her own space, but is close enough that we can support her when needed, help her with meal prep, help her to keep the property up and have her be safe and secure instead of on her own where we're worrying about her and where she's worrying about her own mobility and challenges. So if your family's facing these sort of changes, like I said, some excellent questions and framework for conversation in those guides that we've provided. But even more so, we'd love the chance to just sit down with you and have a conversation about what it is you need, what you think is going to work best, any challenges you foresee, and how we can help you to look at those transitions and those moves. So if you're at all interested, there's a link below. You can click it and go ahead and book a meeting with us. Zero obligation and zero pressure. If we can help you, we'd love to. If not, no harm, no foul. But perhaps we can give you some information that'll help you as you move through the process. So thanks so much for your time, and if we can be of any help, reach out. Thanks.